Hey, what's happening guys, Chris here for another one of those Battlefield Hardline weapon guides, and today I'm going to be putting a new weapon, the M12S, under the spotlight. So the M12S, aka Beretta Model 12S, is a submachine gun that's been introduced alongside the Getaway expansion, and you're going to need the DLC if you want to slap it onto one of your loadouts. Another thing that you'll need is $60,000 of in-game money to purchase it, so it's quite a pricey one and it'll probably take more than just a couple of matches until you'll have enough paper. It's exclusive to the mechanic class being an SMG, and you'll only be able to use it on a police loadout. So there's quite a few restrictions here if you want to get behind it, but is it really worth all that hassle? Well, if we check out some of its stats, we can see that the M12S actually has quite a lot in common with the Uzi, and shares quite a few of its traits. If we take a look at the damage graph for a few seconds, we can see that the gun has a maximum damage of 34, which starts to drop off at 20 meters. And it's got a minimum damage of 18, which is dealt beyond the range of 35 meters. So this is practically the same amount of damage that the Uzi dishes out, meaning it should only take 3 bullets to kill an enemy with full health in close quarters, and up to a total of 6 bullets at longer distances past 34 meters. So damage wise, the gun's pretty strong, and it's able to put down an enemy close up quite easily. And because its minimum damage is higher than most of the other SMGs too, the M12S doesn't have much of a problem dealing with targets at medium to even long ranges too. Another thing that complements the weapon's damage very nicely is the fact that it's now the most accurate gun in the entire game. And I'm not kidding when I say that this gun might as well be a laser beam, as it even beats the Uzi when it comes to its recoil pattern. With a tiny vertical jump of 0.12, a slight leftwards jolt of 0.1, and a teeny rightwards bounce of 0.08, the M12S takes the crown when it comes to accuracy. And if you thought that was good, the spread increase of the gun is also only 0.2, whereas the Uzi's spread increase is 0.3. Plus its first shot recoil is just multiplied by 2, but the Uzi's first shot is multiplied by 2.4. So you've really got no excuses here if you can't hit the target with the M12S, as there's hardly any recoil at all to get in your way. Plus it's also quite quick with its reloading too. It's only going to take you 1.5 seconds for a quick reload and 2.8 seconds if you're running on empty. So it's also got one of the quickest reload times in the mechanic class. But just before you think that the weapon's going to be perfect, I'm going to have to break the news that the M12S may be the gun with the least recoil, but it's also the slowest firing mechanic gun of the bunch, firing at a sluggish speed of just 550 RPM, which is even slower than the M45, Uzi and the UMP45. This might cause you a few problems if you do miss your target, or if you're up against someone with a much quicker, bullet spraying weapon like the Scorpion at close range, as if you miss a couple of your shots it's most likely going to be game over. Well, until you respawn again. Because the fire rate is so slow, it's much more important to be on target in a one-on-one gunfight, though do keep in mind that it's only going to be a little bit slower than other, similar guns like the Uzi. So if you can get used to the speed at which they fire at, you should be able to handle the M12S in a similar way. So when it comes down to the attachments, the M12S is already a great gun to use without any, as the recoil is already lower than everything else in their base forms. You do have the option to equip the stock as an accessory to further improve stability, but because the weapon's so easy to handle as it is, I'd be tempted to maybe opt for a laser sight instead. This will help you out in short range battles and allow you to get the drop on your enemies earlier with hip fire, rather than losing some of the time you'd be aiming down your sights. So hip firing with your weapon will probably be an efficient way of taking someone out quickly, if they get too close for comfort. Now as far as the muzzles go, the muzzle brake is simply just going to give the gun an overall upgrade, lowering that horizontal recoil by 50%, almost eliminating any sideways recoil at all. It's probably the best bet, as there isn't a penalty like there is with the compensator, meaning it'll just give the gun a boost. And because vertical recoil really isn't a problem with this gun, that pretty much rules out the need for a compensator. Though because the M12S is so accurate, it might even be worth equipping the suppressor, as you don't really even need the other muzzles to stay on target. So you might as well sacrifice something that you don't really need for something that's going to keep you off the radar. Because you're firing so slowly, a suppressor might make all the difference behind enemy lines and allow you to take out the opposition without them even knowing that you're there. This will probably keep you alive for longer and won't affect the weapon's high damage at closer ranges. So in conclusion, the M12S is the new king of stability. With a super low recoil pattern combined with its relatively high damage output, it's a great gun to use in close quarters, but it's still a worthy choice for longer distance shootouts too, with it being so easy to get your bullets to land where they should be doing. However, the fire rate is something that holds the weapon back a bit from being a truly overpowered gun, as it's the slowest of all the mechanic weapons, which might cause a few issues in one-on-one battles. Though with some quick reflexes and smart decision making, the M12S is a perfect choice to bring on the battlefield if you want to be able to hit your target and put them down easily without worrying about the gun flying all over the place. The pros for the gun definitely outweigh the cons, and as an honest opinion, the M12S is one of the best weapons in the game. So that's all folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a like if you did, and if you want to see a load of other weapon guides and loads of other gaming stuff from reviews, guides and trivia, subscribe to my channel and check out all of that stuff too. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one.